Well, Labour clearly in a state of panic over the rise of reform. And I think it's something you're going to see more and more. I wrote about this, by the way, today at Heathen News. Labour panicking now because they basically repeated the Conservative mistakes. And we need to establish a very clear principle in this country as a democracy, that it's those who are elected that wield the power, that make the decisions, not unelected courts or unelected officials, not the ECHR, not people we didn't vote for and people we can't vote to remove. Now, of course, the challenge for reform is to establish that, unlike the Labour, who are happy with the present system, and the Conservatives who moan but did nothing to fundamentally change anything, reform will actually take action. And so I think what's going on in Warwickshire right now is really quite interesting. Here is the background from Nigel Farage.
So who runs the country? Is it elected politicians or is it the bureaucrats and the civil servants? Well, this is interesting. In Warwickshire, we became the biggest party in the county elections. We're now leading a minority administration. And in line with our promises, we told the council not to fly the pride flag, not to fly the Ukraine flag, not to fly political symbols, just British flags, or indeed Warwickshire's county flag. The chief executive, who earns over 200 grand a year, Ms. Monica Fogarty, who previously worked in the race relations industry, no shock there, has said, "I'm afraid I will not be taking the action that you are requesting." So we've won, we're in charge of a council, yet a highly paid CEO bureaucrat is telling us that she will decide what flags we fly, that she will disobey any orders that we give her. I'm guessing this is a test bed for what will happen when we win the next general election. Be in no doubt we're going to fight back and fight hard. And as for Ms. Fogarty, I think it's time she looked for a new job, don't you?
So yeah, what's now happened in Warwickshire is really quite interesting because Reform are actually taking action. In fact, Azia Youssef there describes Reform winning a decisive victory against the blob. So what's now happened is, instead of just moaning about this situation, you've seen Reform actually taking action. So Warwickshire County Council stripping its chief exec of the power to decide which flags are flown outside the council's headquarters. The decision-making power will now go to the council chairman. So a decisive shift there. And folks, it isn't difficult. If you've got the will, if you're ready for the battle, if you're ready for the fight, you can change the system. And this is a small example of the massive total change to the system on a national level we now need to see. Do head over to heather.news where you can read all of my articles and stay in touch with me. And of course, as ever, guys, cheers for watching.